In essence, photography is simply a process of recording pictures by means of capturing light on a light-sensitive medium. But if it's as simple as that, then how is it capable of creating images that convey such majesty and beauty? Until recently, photography was done entirely on film, but with the advent of digital technology bringing an alternative to the field, a debate has begun over the two mediums, splitting the photographic community into opposing positions. This has led to a need to find the answer to the question, what makes good photography anyway, and can one medium be superior to the other?
The number one word with digital is convenience.
The only argument you have for it is I could see it straight away and fix it. That's your only argument.
That's no advancement, it's actually taking me backwards.
But in photography, definitely digital is taking over.
All cameras take pictures by allowing light through a shutter for a controlled time. Digital cameras use a light sensor to record and store information electronically onto its memory card. After this, the photographer uploads their images onto a computer where they can use programs such as Photoshop to alter and enhance their work. Film cameras pass the light onto rolls of light-sensitive crystals that react to capture the image. The film must then be developed and printed chemically in a darkroom. Although the results of the two methods appear the same, they both differ drastically in the opinions of photographers.
Well, I have a kind of a foot in the past and a foot in the future, so I know about like 5.4 cameras, 10.8 cameras, the Hasselblad 6.6 cameras. It's a completely different world. And when you start shooting on those formats, like they're working together, it's absolutely stunning. You open up any magazine and look at a product and it looks super real. It's been shot on a large format camera on film.
Digital has this unnatural looking contrast between black and white or different colours, and it looks a lot more saturated, which is something that I personally prefer, and that's why I decided to go into digital, and because Photoshop allows you to do a lot more than you would be able to in the darkroom with the resources that are available to me.
So like digital is a facade. It's easy to sell, it's convenient to use, you can just plug it into a computer.
I'm using Photoshop not because it's easier than the darkroom, I'm using it because I prefer the way it looks. I prefer the actual unnatural digital look. I'm trying to get the point across that Photoshop actually brings you more into the realm of painting. You can create a lot imaginative things in Photoshop than you could in the darkroom. Anything you make in the darkroom would look semi-realistic or something that has been made naturally. It looks real. I'm trying to make something surreal.
The problem I have with digital is that that's all that's been advertised now. So in other words, that's going to take over and take away all the analog stuff. And so in other words, people are not going to have a choice. See, people who've been around, like people like David Lynch, he's been shooting on film. He's been shooting on his Rolex for the last 20-something odd years. So he just doesn't come to digital as just digital. He comes through a whole wealth of experience that he's gained through working with film. And knowing that he's an absolute genius, so it wouldn't make any difference what kind of a camera he had. It'd still make good work.
Digital photography is a huge business, much bigger than film photography. And you know, I don't think that if you are in the industry, people look at what sort of means you've got, means you use to get to an end. They just look at your finished piece and say, well, this is good or this is bad. If you've achieved the point you were trying to get across with the image, then I think you're a good photographer no matter what medium you're using.
So we weren't waiting for digital for people to actually achieve that thing where they can make incredible images. That's been going on all the time. But they are the geniuses. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of a medium you give to those people, because they've already bring so much skill to it. But what the problem is people starting out, if they don't actually learn the skill, if they don't learn to do things properly in the first place.
That's the disgraceful thing about digital, is that it is for the lazy generation of people who aren't bothered. They're asked to get up and like think about their shots and plan everything in advance and make sure they're getting the right thing in front.
All right. Well, yeah. People always say that about digital. Their argument is almost like you can shoot a blank page and then just fix it all in Photoshop and you'll end up with a good picture. But you still need to. It's just a tool. You still need to have some kind of like forward thinking before you take the picture.
Same thing, really. You're just making images, but whatever effect you want to get out of them will ultimately decide which medium you go for.